I have no idea where this is gonna go, but I just feel like I should say something tonight. Sometimes I have those urges, and mm, it's been a long day. Um, my oldest stayed at home. He had to think about his own lunch today. Um, because the rest of us were out of the house. He's still recovering from what I had last week, which was pretty terrible. Which was not COVID. It was not influenza. It was who knows what, kind of bad cold. I had a coworker at one of my schools today that showed up at school, and apparently he left work yesterday early because he had the chills and I don't know, the high fever. And then today he showed up after in the afternoon, and everybody was asking him around if he's okay. So I was like, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yeah, yeah." For the foreigner, of course, everything's okay. But like when he talks to the others, I can pick up some of the words that they're saying. And he said, "No COVID, no influenza," and I was like, "Oh, sounds very familiar to me." So I guess he went to be tested for either one and it wasn't. So I was like, okay, so welcome to the club. We don't know what this is, but it's really bad. And I think at some point people will start seeing that a lot of people go to be tested for COVID and influenza, and both tests are negative, but then there's something and the person's not feeling well and temperature is up. So soon probably they'll figure it out. There is something going on that is not really a cold either, because this lingers and stays in your lungs and makes you cough and your nose doesn't work, and it's really bad. I remember last week Saturday Sunday, but the previous Saturday Sunday, oh my gosh, I was like, I just want to die, please, I just want to die. Every swallowing was somebody's cutting through my throat. Every breath was so hard, and it was like, oh my goodness. And Saturday passes and I'm like, Sunday, I'm gonna feel better. I'm for sure I'm gonna feel better. Oh my goodness, it was exactly the same. And I was like, when do I start feeling better? On Monday I go to be tested, nothing. On Tuesday the twins stay home because they had high fever too, which was exactly the same thing. They started with a bad cough as well, and it was just horrible. Then Wednesday, what happened on Wednesday? I had to go for the special paper that they wanted me, my company wanted to show, and after being 3 days not at work, you have to show kind of like a doctor's note. That cost me a lot, actually, to have it for my company to say, oh, thank you for that. And I was like, seriously. And then Thursday was just me. The kids went to school, and I was like, okay, the last day under covers. And on Friday, I went to work. And I went to work with a tissue box, and I used it really well. And then I brought the same tissue box on Monday to school, to my other school, and I kept it there today as well. And tomorrow I'm gonna be there too with that tissue box. And I think that tissue box is gonna stay there till the end of the night, the year. And you can feel like how your nose gets piled up stuff. And then after every 45 class period, I go to the desk room. I go to the staff room and I blow my nose and I drink some tea from my thermos, and I cough a little bit a few times and clear my throat and get back to the next class. And it's like that all day. So I can see the difference. It's been more than 10 days now and it's still lingering. So it's really not nice. But it makes me also be grateful for the time when I'm well and the days when I'm healthy. Because, let's be honest, when you get older, you become more grateful and more aware of the days when you actually feel well and can function without pain or without pressure or without any physical discomfort. And unfortunately, after I hit 41, actually right before I hit 41, the knees started calling that, meniscus is torn and, worn out knees, and for carrying children and working and bending and sitting in the Japanese style for so many years at work in frozen gyms and whatnot. I mean, life just happens, and you might be 40, 41, but you start, this start calling, that starts calling, things start getting irregular, your body starts changing, and there's nothing I can do about it, but I can embrace it, and I can try to live with it and make the best out of it. It all depends on the attitude. And I also know that the pressure and the stress on the body mentally psychologically can bring your physical body into distress, and things start hurting, and doctors cannot explain why, and they just say, it's stress, and just stress. And I had that a few times happening too, but I also know that there is a way out of it, and it's all here. It's all here. And how you manage inside here, it's all in here. And so, and in here, and yeah, your mind and your heart are what really comes down to at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, all I know is I'm surrounded by beautiful babies and my kids downstairs, and I love them, and I hope they know that, and they're my universe, they're my everything. I am nice, and I enjoy and love my work. I love working with kids in elementary schools. I really do. Being with kids